Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Marcus, and we're here with a new video. And today we're discussing the cornerback situation for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this cornerback group is led by James Rowe, 14-year veteran at coaching. He does a pretty good job. He's had a bunch of talent around him and trained them to be pretty good. Some of them went on to the NFL, so familiar names like Fabian Morrow, who played for the Washington football team, DJ Swearinger, Josh Norman, Quentin Dunbar, even Kenny Moore himself. All of those guys under James Rowe had good production, and he has plans to work for Rocky Sin, which goes to my next topic. The cornerback situation. Can you guys trust the Indianapolis Colts cornerbacks as of today? My opinion is yes. Why? Because we're led by a good coach. He's a veteran in the game. He knows what he's doing. He has a pretty good accolades and achievements under his name. But, for this cornerback situation, us staying with our guys, bringing back veterans and leaderships like Xavier Rhodes, who brought back TJ Carey. We got Kenny Moore still. Rocky Sin still has a high ceiling, and he has a chance to improve. It's possible, man. We can do pretty much anything with this cornerback group. It pretty much relies on the defensive line pressure anyway if the edge rush gets to the quarterback. So I feel like the edge rush was probably a bigger problem for me than the cornerbacks. So yeah, our defense pretty much leads up on the pass rush, but our corners, they have their moments. Every NFL offense pretty much has a 1A and 1B in wide receiver core. You can't have a true number one wide receiver. You got to have two. The 1B wide receiver is the one that can have the potential to be a number one, but is not there yet, or could be one, but there's somebody, a veteran role in front of them. So for the cornerback situation, it's pretty much the same thing. Our true number one corner is Xavier Rhodes. Kenny Moore, he's the number one, but at his position and what he does, I don't want to move him anywhere else. He's pretty good at what he do. So I think Rocky Sin fills that 1B role. He has the potential to be a beast at corner. Now, of course, he has mishaps, but Colts fans have a chance to figure out how to slander him every week now and then. Some people are pretty harsh on Rocky Sin. I don't think he's a bad corner. Now, of course, he has flaws, with the flags and the late penalties, but other than that, if you take that aside, he's pretty decent at what he does, and he has a chance to improve. Him staying around veterans like Xavier Rhodes, and you got a guy like James Rowe, who pretty much developed cornerbacks to reaching the full potential. I think Rocky Sin has that chance. Now, next year is going to be a prove-it deal, like I said in my last video, because we got a tough schedule ahead. We got a bunch of good teams with a lot of good wide receivers, so the cornerbacks are definitely going to have to step up to the plate and see how they play next year. And I think the corners will do a pretty solid job next year, especially with the safety help that we got back there with Willis and Blackman. I think the corners will do a pretty decent job next year. Like I said, again, for Rocky Sin's purposes, I just know I can see the potential in him. He has what it takes. He just has to be more disciplined, in my opinion. And I think he will be. He had a few good games last year. A lot of people take that away due to, pivotal moments where there's like a flag or a late interference or stuff like that. But I think he's a pretty solid guy that has the potential to reach that ceiling. Now, Xavier Rhodes, for example, he's really good at what he does. And, of course, he was limited on snaps last year. But I think he's really good when he is on the field. And the next question is, on the radio interview, Irsay addressed the cornerback situation and how we can go get someone else. Now, I know the potential is probably going to be in there in the draft. I know we're probably going to draft one. But, it comes to the next question. What about the free agency? There's some free agency talent still out there for cornerback situation. One of the most important ones is Richard Sherman. He's still out there and available on the market. He's a veteran. Now, I know he might not be out there with speed, but I think with our scheme, I think he would fit in perfectly with that. But like I said, if we do draft a corner, I don't be opposed to that as well. The question is, what corner will we draft and what round as well? Now, I know we'll probably trade back and get more picks in the draft. So if we were to trade back, his former cornerback, Shamar Jean Charles, is available in the draft. The Colts have shown interest in acquiring him. Maybe he adds him to the piece of the cornerbacks that we have for the Colts that we can acquire in the draft is actually a bonus. So I think we'll have a pretty good shot of, upgrading from what we did last year. I think we'll be better off next year for sure. The potential is there for all the cornerbacks, but now it's up to you. I'm going to let you guys comment in the comment section your thoughts on the Colts cornerback situation. What can we do to improve it? Who has got the biggest upside? Like, who do you see as the best corner on the roster? Let me know about that. Who you think needs to improve the most? Or who should we sign or draft out of the NFL draft? or out of NFL free agency or the NFL draft. You guys let me know your whole thoughts on the Colts cornerback situation. And until next time, you've been Culture Shock.